Before this National Assembly is Budget 2019. It is before us for debate and passage. Thereafter, authorizing the government to expand these sums in various sections in the Mahai-Kaborabis region. This region, Mr. Speaker, welcomes the early presentation of Budget 2019. As sure, let us commend our Honorable Minister of Finance and his hard-working team for an excellent and comprehensive national budget to the tune of $300.7 billion. That was presented in this Honorable House on the 26th of November, 2018. We owe them a deep sense of gratitude. Mr. Speaker, a country's budget must be a financial plan of what is to be done to point the economy in the right direction of this transformation that will overcome the challenges and bring comfort and happiness to all its people. Budget 2019 is pointing us to that direction. I say it's a blessed budget. Sir, with the recently held local government elections, in Guyana, the second since this government took office, we were able to win Region 5, Mr. Speaker. We won 5 NDCs, whereas the opposition won 4 NDCs, and there was 1 tie. Mr. Speaker, I use this forum to profoundly say thank you to the Guyanese for their support during that campaign. And we're coming back in 2020, Mr. Speaker, to win the 2020 elections. Mr. Speaker, like in previous years, the government expended large sums of money on drain and irrigation. These sums went towards the rehabilitation and maintenance of drains and channels, excavation of outdoor falls, completion of embankment and empowering works, construction of structures, sluices, roads, bridges in all 10 NDCs in the region. Mr. Speaker, following is a breakdown of funds used in the 10 NDCs. Accountability. Blame and Gatorland. Expenditure to date, $41,694,611. And I want to give a few areas where we did works. Upgrading works at the Arnold Drive, Ithaca Road to the tune of $9,618,752. Upgrading works to Eddie Singh Street, 2.5, Mr. Speaker. Construction of Pansy Street in Ithaca, $4,855,000, just to mention a few. Rosignol Zelos, expenditure to date, $115,673,026. Rehabilitation of the tire shop street in Cotton Tree Village to the tune of $10,042,925. Extension of Yankee Dam Rosignol, $19,420,000, just to mention a few. I hope the Honorable Minister Arigil listening.
That's right.
Bel-Air Woodlands, expenditure to date, $49,680,075. Excavation works at the number 6 drainage canal, $7,187,400. Construction of the first street of number 7 village, south of the public road, $3 million. Just to mention a few. Bath Woodley Park, expenditure of the date, $45,101,159. Upgrading works at the Cotton Tree, Bath Road, $7,786,000. Excavation and desilting of main canal drainage, Block D of Bath, $3 million. Mr. Speaker, just to mention a few. Union, National Guide expenditure to date, $193,395,518. We did some work there, Mr. Speaker. Rehabilitation works at the Sideline Dam at St. John, $8,518,054. General rehabilitation of Section Street, Union, south of the public road, $7 million. Mr. Speaker, this road leads us to the Food for the Poor housing scheme. It was in a very bad state. Seafield Tempe expenditure to date, $59,436,088. Rehabilitation of the eastern sign line south of the public road at Litchfield, $11,000,000 530, 850. Rehabilitation eastern side of the dam at Jacobo, 3,159,000. Construction of phase 1 of the NDC office at Plantation Ross, 3.8, just to mention a few. Mr. Speaker, I want to say something about this NDC office. I stood over there in the past, spoke about the workers need a washroom, simple thing like washroom. When they're working at the NDC office and they want to go to the washroom, they have to lock the office, Mr. Speaker, go home and then come back under that in the previous administration. Shame on them. Now we get into power, Mr. Speaker, we have completed phase 1 of the new NDC office. Placed in Plantation Ross on the west coast of Babis. That's right. Profit rising, son, expenditure to date, 44,928,388. And we did works in the section of Sideline Dam at Paradise, south of the public road. Maintenance work to streets in all the NDCs, 4 million, just to mention a few. The Myconia Barry expenditure to date, Mr. Speaker, 102,306,107. General rehabilitation to the Abari Dundee Sideline Dam to the tune of 11,607,997. Mr. Speaker, Hamlet Chance expenditure to date, 36,600,000. We did some renovation works at the Mortis Primary School to the tune of 2 million. Renovation works to Strat Campbell Primary School, 2.5 million. Excavation of drainage, canals within the NDC, 4 million. Woodlands Farm expenditure to date, 109,756,700. We also did, Mr. Speaker, renovation to the eastern sideline dam at Zealand, East Coast, Demerara, to the tune of 5,551,000. Rehabilitation of the eastern dam of the Fairweather Road, Bijivol, Vive Mahaika, to the tune of 11.5. Mr. Speaker, the kids there are very happy. Gone are the days when they have to hold their footwear in their hands to go to school from that area. Good life, Mr. Speaker, good life. Mr. Speaker, the total sum expended to date in all the 10 NDCs, 798,670,668. Sir, even the non-support of the opposition in the region will not hinder the progress of Mahaika-Borbis region. Mr. Speaker, instead, we are fully prepared to execute all works of the 2019 budget the same way we did in the previous years. Sir, every street, every village, every community benefited from the 2018 budget to the tune of 3.2. This 2019 budgetary allocation in the Mahaika-Borbis region will benefit from the amount given to the tune of 3.7. And we did it, Mr. Speaker, because we have a very good RU. Because the opposition put a little boy to do a man's job who cannot perform in the region. And that is the regional chairman. Sir, this does not prevent me to say in this honorable house how the given amount will be spent in 2019. However, we are a government for the people. Our play field is level, not like the previous government who deliver only in chosen villages. And I can testify to that, sir. When they were doing the lights on the road, they reached onto this village before me, stopped it there, passed the honorable member, went on to the other villages. And at night, Mr. Speaker, whilst coming home from doing the Lord's work, because I'm a licensed lay minister in the Anglican Diocese, I encountered a barrier on the road that almost crushed me. I came in here, Mr. Speaker, spoke about it. The then minister stepped out, one phone call in 2 hours. My sister called to ask me where I want the light. I said, I don't want light, snake nearly bite me in Yeovil. Let it put it where it nearly bite me. And sir, it is because of that I had 2 lights in my village. But how these people are so devious. Mr. Speaker, time does not... Let me say to this house that over the years in Region 5, we worked together while we were in opposition. But today, it is not so. They are not working, boycotting, doing everything to make sure that they bring this government down, but that will not happen, sir. Right, the good is never good enough for them. Everything good is bad for them, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want them to know that Guyanese people is watching. We are watching. This government will not, and I repeat, will not distract, regardless of anyone's deplorable behavioral pattern. The journey to a good life continues in the region.
That's right.
Agriculture, sir. Mr. Speaker, this sector allotted to us the sum is 17.1. And on page 82, paragraph 523, the Honorable Minister outlined the projections and transformation of the agriculture sector. This sector will continue to be one of the main pillars of Guyana's economic development. Sir, please note that this government will ensure that food security and safety are not at risk. Hence, the new state-of-the-art abattoir is slated to be built in 2019 at the Unvok on the west coast of Berbice. This initiative is very timely and important, and it is wholeheartedly welcome. Mr. Speaker, some of the accomplishments in the agriculture sector are as follows. Rehabilitation and upgrading of 14 Farmer to Market Road in the sum of 1996 million. Drainage and irrigation works across the region to the tune of 93 million. We also hosted the first regional agriculture and commercial exhibition race held at the Paradise Sport Ground. And at that event, Mr. Speaker, businessmen and women from across Guyana eagerly participated. It was a successful event that will be held during the Agriculture Month annually, Mr. Speaker. The life goes on, Mr. Speaker. In addition, Itika community benefited from a multi-million project, Mr. Speaker. This project afforded young people from the community the opportunity to be self-employed. You don't have to work in an office to earn money. Self-employed, Mr. Speaker, thus providing for themselves and family. And with grateful hearts, Mr. Speaker, Itika says, thank you to this government, caring government. Sir, please note that farmers in Region 5 had an excellent crop with good yields and prices for their paddy. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say to the Honorable Member, Mr. Gill, that spoke about the RDC. Mr. Speaker, that farm was leased by the MMA to the RDC. Honorable Harry Gill, I want you to listen carefully. And during that time, Honorable, the late Barkat Ali, the father of Minister Ali, was the regional chairman then. He planted coconut trees, black-eyed peas, and all kind of things. And this land was given to the RDC for leased to MMA for 50 years, signed under this very Foster government. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say that now the big fight in the region, Honorable Nanla going up there and causing big fuss and all kind of thing with the REO. We are planting hundreds of banana, hundreds of coconut, the RDC planting it. And so, Mr. Speaker, why are you saying that is the REO? It's a RDC project. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. Project will continue.
That's right. That's right, Larry.
Infrastructure works. Mr. Speaker, infrastructure work in Region 5 is necessary to provide easy access into farmlands and communities. We were able to improve and expand in the region several areas. For example, rehabilitated and upgrading of 25 community access roads to the tune of 187 million, Mr. Speaker. Purchase of a tar tank distributor and a roller to the tune of 20.9, and this will assist in the NDCs for road construction. Honorable Member Harry Gill. Constructed 2 concrete bridges to the Blayman Primary School and Oplang PIC to the tune of 18 million. In addition, maintained 5 community bridges to the sum of 12 million. Mr. Speaker, rehabilitated the river bridge at the Edwards to the sum of 8.1 to protect the community from overtapping during high tide season. Mr. Speaker, works are also being done in various areas by MMA. The Edwards Sluice works are ongoing. The All-Weather Road works are ongoing. The weeding, the silting of channels in all areas, aided by excavator from NDIA, works are ongoing. The 4C sluices work are ongoing, Mr. Speaker, in the number 29 area, Golden Grove, Lovely Lass, Bush Lot, number 12. On completion, incidents of flood will be minimized as effectiveness in water management improved in agricultural areas. Education delivery. Mr. Speaker, education paves the way for employment in any country. Thus, all efforts are placed to boost enhanced education through increased budgetary allocation. And by introducing programs, we must emphasize that government continues to upgrade and expand the education sector in Region 5.
Honourable Member, you have 5 minutes remaining.
With the President Oatmeal initiatives, schools in Belladrum will benefit from the Coastland Project, Mr. Speaker, in 29. All schools with Southern will also come on board. Mr. President, the welfare, caring for children, every child in school will continue. This government is a government with vision. Let me proudly say that the accomplishment on the education delivery, just a few. Construction of 2 nursery schools at Calcutta Port to the tune of $56 million. Construction of Champagne Primary School, Oaktown Primary, Cotton Tree Primary, level playing field, Mr. Speaker, to the sum of $44 million. And Mr. Speaker, maintenance of schools in the Mahaica-Borbis region to the sum of $107.6 billion. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the Borbis Bridge, it is very important for me to mention that this government did all it had in its power to ensure that commuters continue to traverse the Borbis Bridge without undue harassment or burdensome tolls. And we're threatened, sir, and so Region 5, by extension 6 and other persons that traverse, say to the government, thank you, Lord, thank you, government, for us to have a free sail over the bridge. Mr. Speaker, I want to touch on women development and families. Guyanese women are very hardworking and progressive. This view is highly respected by the government. Hence, great emphasis is placed on the empowerment of women across Region 5. Most women are already involved in skill training programs, Mr. Speaker, and I want to say that I want to touch up on Hugo Chavez. The honorary member spoke about Hugo Chavez. I want to say to him, where is the administrator under your government? She had to run, Mr. Speaker, because of the corruption under our government, under that government. Where we inherited 8 residents there. Now we have 105. We have 30 nurses, 1 resident doctor. We have a farm, fish, chicken, ducks, Mr. Speaker. And now this government is saying, questioning the Hugo Chavez administration. Where is the former administrator? She had to run.
I remember you have 2 minutes remaining.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. And so in conclusion, sir, I want to say that we Guyanese are looking on, and we know that this budget is ongoing, and they will evaluate everything that is taking place. And I want to quote from the Proverbs 16:3, my favorite. Ask the Lord to bless your plans, and you will be successful in carrying them out. I say without a shadow of a doubt, this government is doing just that. We are equipped to overcome obstacles, anointed to prosper, and favored to receive all the blessings. This budget, sir, is a fit and proper budget for 2019.